About myself, I have about 12 years of IT experience. I started my career as C developer and then turned into Sun Solaris system administration. I'm not too sure how I changed into the complete different stream, BI, and in the same tool Cognos I'm working from past 8 years. So far I worked for different companies, different clients like Johnson & Johnson, Unicorn HRO, GSK, IBM, and now I'm working for a UK-based insurance company. I completed 5 full life cycle projects from requirement gathering onwards, designing, documentation, development, production, post-production support, like that full life cycle projects. I completed almost 5 projects. This is about my technical experience, and about the teaching. I completed many batches, I can say countless. Many batches, offline mode, online mode, corporate trainings, like the different ways. Okay, we have something like DBMS by adding new features to this, or DBMS by adding some more features. Sorry, DBMS, RDBMS, and then ORDBMS. First of all, what all are these? Anyone?
These are the techniques which we use to store the type of data types we are going to store.
Exactly. These are the strategies to follow to store some data in a database. Based on a requirement, you can go for DBMS, RDBMS, or object-oriented relational database management systems. Basically, these are strategies to maintain data in a database. Okay, we can implement these methodologies in almost all the databases like Oracle, DB2, Teradata, Netezza, wherever it may be. We can implement these strategies to store the data in a database. All these are methodologies or strategies to maintain the data in a database. In the same way, we have something like a data warehouse. Data warehouse, this is also a strategy or methodology to store the data. Theoretically, we can implement this data warehouse in any database like Oracle, DB2, Netezza, anywhere. But practically some problems are there. Going forward, I'll cover that. Okay. Data warehouse, this is also a strategy or a methodology to store the data on top of a database. All these methodologies follows a similar way to maintain the data, whereas this data warehouse, it follows some different way to store the data. Then what is the difference? How would these differs? Let me explain. Say for example, in our company, employee table is there. In that one record, employee number 101, and his name A. Now he is working for our US region, and we are paying 10,000 as a salary for him. Assume like that. This is a record in our database. After some days, after some time, we shift him into our UK branch. Salary increased by 5,000. Then how this record is going to change? 7? Or what is the SQL statement we're gonna issue here?
I think it's update.
Update, yes. So this US will become as UK, and the salary increased by 5,000. It will become as 15,000. Like this, usually the updations like this will be there in these methodologies. Whereas in data warehouse, don't update the record. Keep the record as it is, and insert one more record with the updated information. Employee number 101, his name A. Now he is for UK and salary increased by 15,000. Okay. After some days, some years, shifted him into our say Australia branch, Australia region. Salary increased by 5,000, 20,000, and now he is working for say Japan. Salary increased by, otherwise let me take AP, Asia Pacific. Now we are paying 25,000 like this. We are not updating anything. We are not deleting anything in the data warehouse. We are inserting new records with updated information. Orally, what we are doing here is we are maintaining the history of this employee. We are maintaining the history of this employee. Why? What is the need? If I want to do some analysis like how much I am spending more in his on his salary, initially paid 10,000, now paying 25,000, means I can say we are spending 15,000 more on his salary, right? As you told, if we update the record at the last, this is only the record which is going to be there in the database. So if I want to do analysis, it is not possible. So Basically, the main concept of data warehouse is maintaining the history like this. Maintaining the history like this for analysis. Analysis is main need for the data warehouse. If analysis is not required, then no need to construct a data warehouse. Orally, the thing is we are maintaining the history in data warehouse like this for analysis. Of course, you may ask where is the primary key here. Of course, we are not going to dig more into the data warehouse, just I am giving you the broad picture. Okay. Main concept of data warehouse is maintaining the history like this for analysis. Any questions here? 7?
No.
Chandra and Ranjit, you already know this stuff, that is why I am not concentrating on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
no questions. Yes.
Okay, now where is my PPT? Now let us see a broad picture of data warehouse. A broader picture of data warehouse. We are not going to dig more details here. Okay, this is overall structure of the data warehouse. Okay, architecture of data warehouse. Take any company like Johnson & Johnson. They have multiple departments like R&D, sales, and public relations. Okay, for R&D, they are using Oracle as the database. For sales department, they are using MS SQL Server. For public relations, they are using MySQL. Like that, they are using heterogeneous databases throughout their organization. They are not using the same database for all their individual departmental needs. Why like that? That is depends on their requirements and licensing issues. Okay, for R&D, by spending crores of dollars, the result of the R&D is there in this department. Very sensitive data, they need to protect it, right? It is not supposed to be leaked. If it is leaked, then the competitors also can produce the same product by changing small things. So high security needed here. Not only that, they are maintaining not only successful R&Ds, they are maintaining the failed R&Ds also in their database, because those are learned lessons. So the requirement in this department is high security and bulk data. So when compared to other products, Oracle can give you the type of environment in a better manner. That is why they are using Oracle here, even though that is costly. For sales, the requirement is the security issues somewhat less, and the data volume is also somewhat less. Here, MS SQL Server. This is enough for their requirements. They are using MS SQL Server somewhat cheaper than Oracle. For public relations, the database, this is an agentic database. Okay, so not that much high security required, and the data volume is also less. What it contains: customer addresses, distributed addresses, kind of generic information. So they are using MySQL here, open source. Without paying any money, we can use this. Okay, so here for public relations, if they want to use Oracle, yes, definitely they can use. No one restrict them, but not that much requirement is there, so why unnecessarily pay money for Oracle? Like that, depending on their requirements and the price, the cost, they are using different heterogeneous databases. Okay, these individual databases, these are called as ODS, operational data sources. Okay, all of them together, this is called as OSS, operational source system. The total thing is source for the data warehouse. Now extract the data from the source system and place that into a temporary database called staging database. This is a staging database. Put the data into the staging database and apply transformations on top of that. Transformations. What is a transformation? First of all, based on the tool what you use, we have different transformations like cleansing, scrubbing, tuning, lookup, aggregator, like that many transformations are there. I'll give you some rough example, a small basic example for a transformation. Say for example, this is the an account number 101 in a bank on a particular day. Say for example, January 1st, 2015, opening balance is this much in this account. On the same day itself, many transactions are there. Multiple deposits and multiple withdrawals are there in the same day. Okay. As a bank manager, for my analysis, what I want to have is, I did not want to have the total deposits and total withdrawals. For my analysis, I want to get total deposits and total withdrawals only. This is enough for my analysis. I did not want to have all these records for my analysis. I want to have total deposits and total withdrawals. To get the total deposits and withdrawals, here I need to perform some calculations like summation of all deposits and summation of all withdrawals. That type of calculations, that type of things are called as transformations. Got it? Savan?
Yes, yes.
Overall, the transformation is getting the required information which is useful for analysis from the existing information. Okay. After applying transformations here, load the data into data warehouse. How we are maintaining the data here? How we are maintaining the history here? Account number 101, January 1st, total deposits how much, total withdraw how much. That's it. Don't update the record, don't delete that. For January 2nd, insert one more record. January 2nd, account number 101, total deposits, total withdrawals. January 3rd, January 4th, like that, keep on maintaining the history. Okay. This process, extraction, transformation, and load, this process is called as a ETL process. By using this ETL tool, we are loading the history into data warehouse. Okay, for this ETL, we have many tools are available in the market like Informatica, Data Stage, Data Manager, of course, many other tools also there. Okay, by using the ETL process, we are loading the data into data warehouse. What is the purpose of data warehouse? Analysis, as I told, right? Analysis is the main need for data warehouse. Okay, when we started loading the data into data warehouse, and for up to now we have 5 years of history in the data warehouse, assume like that. One day, a sales manager asked me to do some analysis on his sales staff. If I say, boss, the tables are in the data warehouse, I am granting you the access on the tables, the history is there, do your own analysis. If I say like that, then what happens? What happens? That will be the last day in that company for me. Why? Because the history is there, but if I grant the access to the tables to the manager, what can he do? He don't know how to write the SQL. He don't know how to fetch the information from the data warehouse, from the database, but because he is a sales user, he's not a techie. If you ask like company policies, consumer trends, government policies, gross profit, net profit, like that, he can explain you on fingertips. So because that is his area, he don't know how to write SQL. So it is not possible to get the required information by the end user. So can I say the data loaded into the data warehouse? Is it useless? Obviously, the user is not able to use that. Instead of doing like that, if I prepare some charts or trends, pivots, kind of thing. I mean, if I process the data and if I prepare some charts kind of thing, by seeing that, by seeing the report itself, they can understand what is going there in their business, and they can do their analysis on that, right? For that, we have one more area, querying area. I can say this as a reporting area. Okay, for reporting also, I mean, in data warehouse, we have one more path. This is ETL path loading, and based on the information that already loaded into the data warehouse, we are going to prepare some sort of reports, so the users can do the analysis easily. For the reporting, we have many tools are there. Cognos BI, Cognos Business Objects, ClickView, SSRS, Pentaho, like that, many tools are there. Okay, and among at least a dozen of tools are there. Some of them are open sources and some of them are the remaining are commercial versions. Anyhow, among all these dozen of tools, I can say this Cognos BI, it is having at least a 30 to 35% market share in this BI area. And this is an IBM product, a widely used product. And so far IBM sold 32,000 licenses on this Cognos BI, that much widely used tool this Cognos BI is, and we are going to learn this Cognos BI. From Cognos BI, from the reporting, not only Cognos BI, from these reporting tools, we are not going to load, we are not going to write back anything into the data warehouse. Okay, the data already there, that loaded into data warehouse by using the ETL tools. and we are going to use the data, and we are going to prepare sort of reports by using the reporting tools, and we are going to learn this Cognos BI. This is just a broad picture of the data warehouse. Any questions here? Are we good?
I got a question, Ajay.
Yes, Avan, please.
You said data warehouse, we have like historical data,
Yes.
which we are getting from the left side, which is OLTP, the Oracle
Yes,
database
yes.
and everything.
Yes,
So does it mean that they already have the historical data in them?
As you told when I asked you about this question, you told update, right?
Yes.
So no history there. That
Then-
depends. That depends on the tables. As you told, we update the records here in OLTP.
Mhm. But
At
we
the
are-
same time, it may contain the history.
Okay.
OLTP, it may contain the history. It may contain the history. Where is this? OLTP, it may contain the history. Say, for example, you know the State Bank of India, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So far, they didn't have any data warehouse. They started constructing the data warehouse. I opened my account, my SBI account in SBI in 1995.
Mhm.
If I ask them to provide full history, whether they provide or not?
May not be. May or may not be.
No, definitely they provide. So because that is the minimum responsibility of the bank. They need to maintain all my transactions, right?
Okay.
Then definitely they provide. Of course, they may charge something for that. They may
Okay.
ask me to come back after 4-5 days. So because that may be there in their backups.
Okay.
Whatever it may be, they are maintaining the history, right? In OLTP also, some tables may contain history, some tables may not contain the history. That is depends. But what we are doing here is on daily basis or weekly, usually daily basis, we bring the data from here and we are loading here. Once we load here, update it or update it here or insert new records, there is not a problem for us. We have the history here.
So you said from the example which you are given for the customer 101,
Mhm.
when we are updating the information here itself on the left side, OLTP,
Here also, we won't update anything here. In this case, in accounting perspective, what happens is, in accounting perspective, say for example, I deposited 10,000 here, but unfortunately, by mistake, the clerk he entered 1 lakh here, some other number than what I deposited. They won't update this. Okay, like this, we are maintaining history in the data warehouse. Actually, this system OLTP, online transactional processing, and data warehouse, we call this as OLAP, online analytical processing. Online analytical, transactional processing, analytical processing. What is the difference between them? Transactional processing, usually it contains all the transactions in it. For example, go bank, deposit something, withdraw something, or do ATM transactions, or POS transactions, online transactions, anything it may be. All the transactions will be recorded here in the OLTP. In OLAP, we are not maintaining all the records here. We are maintaining the consolidated information or aggregated information here. We are not maintaining day-to-day records here. OLTP, it is easy to store the day-to-day information, and here we are maintaining the aggregated information only. Okay, and OLTP, number of hits for this server is very, very high. Say, as we are taking the bank example, if you do any transaction, it will hit to the same server. So, the database server should work as fast as possible. That is why the OLTP systems, these are normalized systems. What is normalization? As per the definition, normalization is a process which increases the database server performance by, the database performance by reducing the redundancy, right? Okay, so these are normalized systems. Whereas OLAP, this is denormalized. Why? Because if you apply normalization, it won't allow the redundancy. Without having the redundancy, it is not possible to maintain the data. So these are denormalized systems. And OLTP, as I told you, OLTP, this is day-to-day transactions like that I told you, right? To maintain my business, to run my business, I need to have all these transactions. OLAP, this is just for my analysis only. So I am not maintaining all the records here. I am maintaining the consolidated information. OLTP, it is used to run the business. OLAP, it is used to do analysis on the running business, how it is performing. Okay. And as I told, OLTP, it follows relational model. OLAP, it follows multidimensional model. OLTP, relational model, from past 40-50 years onwards, people are using relational model. Very robust thing, there are no bugs here. Then why we are using OLAP here? This is not like some wrong there with OLTP, no, not like that. As I am saying, this is denormalized. So what is about the performance? Performance goes down, right? Anyhow, the number of users for this OLAP are comparatively less. Getting me?
Yes.
The denormal form performance goes down. Anyhow, the number of users are comparatively less. Well, because as a bank manager, me only the user who use this system. I'm not going to I'm not going to allow my customers to do analysis on my bank. This is for me only. So car loans, more profitable, encourage these house loans, no, not that much profitable, don't encourage. Like that, I'm only the user for this system. Or my superiors like regional managers, zonal managers. Anyhow, number of users are very less. Okay, and OLTP, it follows relational model, it follows OLAP, it follows multidimensional model. Multidimensional model, why? Because to get the better performance even in denormal form and to get the multidimensional analysis, okay, multiple things are there. Going forward, we are going to, in our tool, we are going to create multidimensional modeling. At the time, I'll explain you what the exact difference between relational model and multidimensional model. Any questions here so far?
No.
Okay, now let us talk about this. Yeah, let us talk about this Cognos BI. Cognos BI, if I say Cognos, usually people say like this is a data warehouse tool. Cognos, this is not only a data warehouse tool. Basically, this is a reporting tool. To create reports, we need to have some source data, some data, right? We can get the data from data warehouse, or we can get the data from OLTP, or you can get the data from Excel sheets, flat files, whatever it may be. Overall, you need to have some data to create reports. If you get from data warehouse, you can get history, or if you get from here, you can get the transactional information, right? Okay, basically, this is a a reporting tool. Now let us see into this Cognos BI. Okay. The same tool, in some aspect we call this as querying tool, in some aspect we call this as reporting tool, and sometimes we say the same tool as business intelligence tool, and sometimes we say this as a decision support system. Decision support system. Why these many names? Let us see one by one. Querying tool. Being a tool, Cognos creates queries automatically. No need to write any select star from, no, nothing required. Being a tool, Cognos creates queries automatically. And if you want to edit the generated SQL, if you want to edit the SQL prepared by Cognos, you can edit it. Or I did not want to allow Cognos to write SQL. I can write myself. Yes, we can write ourselves. Hard-coded, freestyle reporting. Okay, basically the tool itself, it prepares the queries, and if you want to edit the SQL, we can edit, or if you want to write SQL ourselves, we can write. Okay, one beautifulness here in this querying is we can join heterogeneous databases into the same query. I think all of you know about Oracle sample tables employee department, right? Chandra, Ranjit, Savan.
Yes, yes.
Oracle sample tables employee and a department. Okay, employee table is there in Oracle. Department table that is there in DB2. Is it possible to write a SQL between them by joining them?
Yeah, it is possible by using the DB link. I think
No.
we can get it.
If DB links, if the other table is there in the same Oracle database, then you can use DB links.
Okay.
The other table is there in completely different database, that is in DB2.
No, it's not possible.
Ranjit, agree?
Yeah, it is not possible. Maybe we have to use some other ETL tool to extract it.
Yeah, here also in the Cognos itself, we can do that. We can, from Cognos perspective, forget about the database, whatever it may be. That may be Oracle, DB2, Excel sheet, whatever it may be. That is not a problem for us. We can write simple SQL statements there. Okay, so that is why I am calling this tool as querying tool and reporting tool. By using Cognos tool, we're gonna prepare some sort of reports. I'll show you some examples for report. I'm taking Excel. Just this is what is the report and how it will be useful for the business. Okay, I'm demonstrating that how to create the reports in the tool that we will discuss in later sessions. But for now, for your understanding, what is the report and how it will be useful for business, I am taking Excel. Okay, say for example, in a company, a sales manager is there. He wants to know his sales staff performance. How much revenue generated by them in August month and September month, and he wants to see whether their performance is increasing or not. He asked us to create a report. I am creating a report. Staff and revenue in August, revenue in September. Okay, and the difference. Staff A, assume he sold 2 lakh worth of goods in August, and here 2 lakh 20,000 worth of goods he sold. His performance increased by 20,000. Okay, and another employee B, assume he also sold 2 lakh worth of goods in August, and here 1 lakh 80,000, and his performance degraded by 20,000. That had 0, otherwise it is not looking good. C, assume he sold he also sold 2 lakhs only here, and here 2 lakh 50,000. His performance increased by 50,000. Creating this type of reports is a Cognos developer task. The report development done, submit the report to the manager who requested you. Now the manager, he started doing analysis on this. Staff A, his performance increased by 20,000. Okay, well and good. Staff B, his performance degrading. What to do with him? Motivate him, otherwise provide some training to him, otherwise terminate him. Like that, the managers, they are taking their own decisions depending on this type of reports. Staff C, he is topper among all his employees, so give him some cash incentive. Staff A, his performance increased but not that much, so don't give him any cash incentive, just send an appreciation mail to him. Like that, the managers are taking decisions. Okay, they need to focus more on these negative performed employees. So because of these employees, we are losing our business, and this is advantage to competitors. Okay, let me give some rough example here. Assume we are working for Colgate company, and this B responsibility is to distribute our Colgate paste in all the outlets in a particular geographical area. He is not distributing properly, that is why his performance degrading. Okay, and we have a customer who is using our Colgate paste from past 10-15 years. Why he is continuing with us for that much long time? He likes some quality or some taste in our paste, that is why he is continuing with us. One day the customer paste got empty. He wants to buy a new paste. He went to an outlet and he asked for our Colgate. Because of this B, he is not distributing properly, so in that outlet our Colgate paste is not available. Because of non-availability of our paste, the customer he bought some other paste like Pepsodent, as it is a daily need. He started using Pepsodent. He may like something there. If he likes something there, he never come back to Colgate. Because of this B only, we are losing our business, and this is advantage to competitors. So the manager needs to focus more on the negative performed employees. Okay, not only these three. Assume we have some 200 records like this. Out of them, some second records, some 55 records, some 105 records. Those are having negatives. The manager needs to search for negatives. Instead of doing like that, if I highlight the negative performed employees like this, by seeing that itself, he can understand whose performance is degrading and he can take actions accordingly. Right? This is one of the examples for a report. Okay, I'll give you one more example. Say in a company, a procurement manager is there. He wants to buy 100 systems for a project. This is not the first time. They already bought many times, and they are maintaining their dealers and their qualities in their database. Qualities in the sense how they are charging, how good the service, and how fast they are able to deliver the systems, like that. Now I am trying to prepare a report. Dealer X, dealer Y, dealer Z, and qualities, price, service and duration. Here I am trying to give ranks out of 5. One is best and 5 it will be worst. A report prepared like this: 1, 3, 5. Let us give the average here, and 5, 3, 1. The report development done. Submit this report to the manager. Okay, now he started analyzing this. People am audible? Chandra, Ranjit, Sawan?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, dealer X price. One means he's giving best price. Service average. 5 duration. 5 means worst duration. I mean it will take a 1 week kind of delay. Dealer Y, everything is average, and dealer Z, price 5. 5 means worst. He's charging much. Of course, this is not like double triple, something high. Okay, and service average and duration 1 means best duration, so he can deliver the systems immediately. Okay, now what the manager situation is, he needs to start the project immediately. In that case, he wants to buy 100 systems. In that case, to whom he is going to place the order? He will go for best duration, right? Best duration, he place order to Z. Price, of course, is not like double triple I am saying. But he needs to start the project immediately. In that case, the price is not the major constraint. Okay, one more scenario. Till now the project is in discussion stage, not yet finalized, not yet confirmed. For that project to proceed to client, they wants to buy 100 systems. In that case, to whom he is going to place the order? Come on. Not yet finalized, not yet confirmed. Then
X.
X.
he go for X. He go for best price. Duration 1 week 10 days. This is not a major thing now. Why? Because the project not yet confirmed. So like that, before taking decisions, the managers they need to take. They need to depend on this type of reports. Without following these reports, if they take decisions, either they may lose time or they lose money. Right? If they need to start the project immediately without following this report, if they place order to this X, what happens? Duration 5 hours duration. So the project will be delayed. Like that, before taking decisions, the managers needs to depend on this type of reports. In the tool, we call this as a list report, and this is a cross-tab report in the Cognos tool. Okay, we are preparing this type of reports by using Cognos. So we call this as a reporting tool. And business intelligence tool, this is the one of the examples for that. They can analyze what is going there in their business. And decision support systems, this is one of the examples for that. They need to depend on this type of reports before taking decisions. That is the reason I am calling this tool. Sometimes in some aspect we call this as querying tool, reporting tool, business intelligence tool, and decision support systems. And this is the example taken from the tool. The same staff name and revenue generation, the difference, and I highlighted the negative performed employees here. Okay, and these are the different tools which are available in the Cognos tool. Okay, and then before going into this, I want to give you the versions, different versions. The earliest version, that is EP6. I'm not too sure whether is there any prior versions to this or not. Of course, this itself it is almost 12-13 years back version. Enterprise 6, and then they released Enterprise 7, EP7. I started my career here. I worked on a part of EP7. And then they released Cognos ReportNet. Here different versions, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and then they released Cognos 8 series. Here 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, and then they released Cognos 10 series. Here 10.1, first 10.0 is there, 10.1, 10.2, and subversions 10.2.1, 10.2.2. This is the recent release. Okay, and we are going to learn, of course, from Cognos 8.4 itself. All these are almost same. IBM itself they says like Cognos 10 this is not a major release, upgradation of 8.4. Okay, these are the different versions are available. Okay, tools broadly divided into two types: web-based applications and Windows-based applications. First of all, what is web-based and what is Windows-based? Any one of you, please?
Web-based means we can access through the URL. Windows-based means we need to have the client tool and our machine, I think.
Okay, say for example, media player, Windows media player. This is an application. Okay. Go to file and here open URL. Here I can give some remote file path which is there in some other server. The file is coming from the web and I am watching the movie in this Windows media player. Then which type of application is this? Windows based or web based?
It is still Windows based because the client is on their own our machine, right? So through
Exactly. That is not the important whether the file is from your local disk or it is from web. This is Windows media player application installed as in our machine, right? Okay. Overall, the thing is Windows based means you need to have a software installed in your machine. Web based means nothing required in your machine, just like Gmail, Google, everything from the web itself. Okay. Ranjit, someone following me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Web-based applications, we have the first thing is Cognos connection. If you want to access any web-based applications, first of all, we need to connect to this Cognos connections portal. From there onwards, we can find the links for these remaining reporting applications. All these are reporting applications only. Query Studio, Report Studio, Analysis Studio, Event Studio, all these are reporting applications only. Then you may ask, why these many tools for reporting? Yes, superset. Okay. And the Query Studio, Analysis Studio, these two are, Query Studio and Analysis Studio. Basically, these are not meant for the developers. Query and analysis, these are not meant for the developers. These are for end users to create their own reports. As a developer, we work with this Report Studio. Okay. And Query and Analysis Studios, these are for end users to create their own reports. Then you may ask, our team is there as developers, then why these two tools for end users? Why they need to create their own reports by using Query or Analysis Studios? Why? Because if you want to work with Report Studio, a small report itself, it takes at least a couple of days. Why? Because this is not like not meant by the report development is difficult. Report development is easy only, but the thing is we need to follow the process. For the end users, if they want to see something there, they need to raise a request to developers. Developer team, as a team, we need to understand it, what exactly they want to see. If we have any questions, we need to schedule a meeting with them, discuss with them. Finally, we need to get 100% clarity on the requirement. Then prepare design documents, submit them for review. If any review comments are there, we need to update them. If everything is okay, then only we need to start working with the tool repository. Once we are done with this, we need to do unit test to ensure that our report is showing accurate data and our report is following all the project standards. And then move to testing. They'll play with that. If any bugs are there, we need to fix that. If everything is okay, then only the report goes to end user. To complete the total process, of course, this process is common for total IT, not only in the Cognos. To complete the process, it takes at least a couple. They ask like, no, I want to see this, not this. Okay, like that it goes. Okay, but for the user, the requirement is not that much great. So by simply dragging and dropping, they want to see the reports. For that, they can use the Query Studio or Analysis Studio. These two are basically for end users to create their own ad hoc reports. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
If I say this Report Studio is a superset, I can say Query Studio and Analysis Studio. These two are like subsets for Report Studio. If you know the Report Studio, nothing is there to learn the Query Studio and Analysis Studio. What we do is, after completion of the project, before handing it over to users, we provide training for Query Studio and Analysis Studio. A layman without any computer knowledge, by giving a half-day or one-day training, they can create their own reports by using Query or Analysis Studios, a small tools. Okay, and this is Event Studio, event monitoring kind of thing. See, for example, each month end, if any of my salespersons cross 5 lakhs revenue generation, then I want to send an appreciation mail for them. We can do by using this Event Studio. Okay. Basically, what I'm saying is, all these tools are reporting applications. These tools can produce queries automatically. But the thing is, without knowing about the database. How these tools write SQL? All of you know the Oracle sample tables, right? Employee and department.
Yes.
Ranjit, Savan?
Yeah.
Okay. Assume you don't know them. You don't know them. So, if I ask you to write a SQL by joining employee and department, you don't know the tables. If I ask you to write join between them, even though you are very good at query writing, is it possible with you?
No.
No, not possible. Why? Because you need to know the tables and the fields and the common columns. You need to know something about the tables, right? Then only you can write SQL. Otherwise, it is not possible. Not only for you, for these tools also, it is not possible to write SQL without knowing the database. Then, Windows-based application framework manager. Basically, this is a metadata modeling tool. Okay, here we need to import the metadata, whatever required for reporting, and we need to apply the join conditions between them and make calculations of predefined filters and what is the security mechanisms we need to follow. Like that, many things are there in the framework manager. Okay, basically, this is a metadata modeling tool. Here we need to, as I told you, we need to apply the join conditions and everything. And once the modeling done, we need to create a package and publish the package. By using the published package, I mean, we use the published package as source for these reporting applications. Now, in form of the published package from Framework Manager, these tools knows about our database. From there onwards, these tools can produce queries automatically. Got it? Or confusion? I'll give you some rough example. Assume you as these reporting applications and me as framework manager. In framework manager, what I am doing is I am writing everything about the employee table and the department table on a paper. Assume that paper is a package. I am writing everything on a paper like employee number. Employee table, it is having columns like employee number, employee name, manager code, department number, blah blah blah. Department table, it is having columns like department number and location. If you want to join these two tables, use department number. I am writing everything on a paper. Okay, assume that paper is a package. If I give you the package, I mean the paper where I wrote, if you look into that, you will know what is about the employee table and what is about the department table, how to join them. From there onwards, you can write your own SQL, right? Chandra, Ranjit,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you know what is the framework manager and what is reporting, what is these tools, Report Studio, right? Okay. In the framework manager, while explaining about the employee table and department table, I am explaining in a wrong manner. Just based on my explanation only, you are preparing the queries here. So you prepare wrong SQL, obviously we're gonna get wrong result. In this case, the problem is there with you or with me?
Into framework manager.
With framework manager only. So if you do anything wrong in the framework manager, that reflects in all the reports. So I can say this is a hard kind of thing for total Cognos. While doing the models in the framework manager, we need to take much care. Otherwise, all our reports will be impacted. Okay, how the project works? Yeah,
So which means the framework manager will be connecting to the database, right, in the back end. So ultimately whatever the columns and tables what we have in the database, that's what is going to be reflected in the framework manager, correct?
Yes, we create data source connections and we import the metadata into FM.
Okay, so that case, we are not doing anything, manually in the framework manager. That is ultimately that is going to come up from the database where we have the source of tables and columns.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and in the web-based, you said that
Reporting.
In the reporting studio, we need to remember the table name and columns name stuff. That's what you say, is it?
See, 1 second. This is already published package in the framework manager. This is already published package. This is Report Studio application. Okay, I am using this as source. This is the package published from FM. And you are seeing the tables and you are seeing the columns here. Put them whatever columns into the report and you can see the data like this.
Okay, fine, right.
Like this.
Okay, fine, got it.
Okay, now, yep, in the projects, in the working projects, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to work with the framework manager, do the metadata modeling, and create the packages and publish the packages. That is framework manager. And once we publish the package, then we start work with this Repo Studio. Okay, framework manager, almost this is a one-time task. Once you are done with the modeling, from there onwards, if any changes needed, then only we work with the framework manager.
Okay.
Regularly, we work with this Repo Studio. Because the structure is already there, so based on the structure, we build our own. We build the reports. For learning, we are going to learn in a reverse way. We are going to start with this Repo Studio first. Once we are done with the Repo Studio, then we go to Framework Manager. Why? I am saying to learn in a reverse way. Why? Because with Repo Studio, let me come again. Why we are starting with Repo Studio? Why? Because in the Framework Manager, if you do any changes, those changes will be reflecting in Repo Studio. If you are able to grasp the changes, what is happening at the Repo Studio, we need to know how this Repo Studio behaves while preparing the queries. If we know that, then in the Framework Manager, I'll explain you, like, see, I'm changing this property, see how it is reflecting in the Repo Studio. I can give you the comparisons. If you are able to grasp the changes, what is happening there at reporting, we need to know the Repo Studio at first. Got it?
Okay.
So we start with Repo Studio. Once we are done with this, we cover Framework Manager, and then once we are done with this, we come to this Cognos connection. Here, user things are there and admin things are there. There's basically, we are not going to, my class, this is not meant for dedicated admins. We are going to cover the admin features which are useful for a developer. Not only useful, we are going to cover the topics which are more useful for a developer. Okay, a part of administration, I can say, not complete. Because I didn't have the infra for that. I worked as admin for a project for some time, but no. Okay, and then we cover Query Studio, Analysis Studio, and Event Studio. Once we are done with that, I'll give you a overview on the transformer here. Transformer. This is a cube creation kind of tool. Okay, actually the license and the course is different, but I'll give you overview on this transformer in these sessions itself. This is our agenda. Any questions here?
In which part we are going to cover the interactive reports, Ajay?
Interactive reports, that is Repo Studio. What exactly it meant by interactive?
Actually, dashboards, just like as I suppose, if you say that somewhere else, if you say there are some, the user don't know, because whenever there will be graphical charts and that tabular data information will be there. So whenever he is going to select we are going to provide him a drop down list. Suppose say that I would like to, I have the sales information on across the globe. So if I go and select the US, under that I need to get the states available in the US. So whenever select this US, so I need to get the full state. Then I need to get that sales information in tabular and the graphical information, as well as how the different for the decision taking. So to provide into the, just like as if you see in the sales market, we are going to show, right?
Yep. I am preparing this for you.
Okay. So exactly not sure, because I think it is per my requirement.
This is a basic report developed in Repo Studio. If you run this, it prompts you for country. What happened? Not prompting. It prompts you for country. Here you need to select the country whatever you want. Say for example, I am selecting Japan. Now if I say finish, my report shows the product names and the products and how much quantity sold in Japan only. These are the quantities sold in Japan. So if I run this and if I select some other like United states, it shows you the quantity sold in US.
Yeah, exactly. But what my requirement is, instead of running the report each and every time, if I get the things onto the report level only. So if I have the all countries, so suppose if I see that there is a map, the user when not knowing the exact information, user is selecting the by using he whenever he clicks on it, suppose on India. So I need to get the Indian in total sales information.
Yeah,
If I
that we
click
can
on
do.
Australia. Yeah,
But,
so instead of running each and every time, I need a one graphical structure and one drop down list like that. If you want, I can able to send you. I can able to.
yeah, got it what you are saying. That is dashboarding you are saying.
Yeah,
Okay, we can do that.
yeah, that's what. In which part we can able to cover that one?
We do that in Repo Studio, or we
Okay.
do that in the newly added tool. Here they introduced some more tools. Let me show them. Business Insight Advanced kind of tools you can see. These two, create workspace, and
Okay.
in this tool you can do that. And
Workspace, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and one more thing, the maps especially. We are not going to cover the part maps.
Okay.
As I told, if you click on the India country in the map, you want to see the details. No,
Yeah.
we won't cover that mapping part. The remaining all we can do. Map,
So
if
will
you want,
we?
I'll give you some rough idea on maps, but I'm not giving you the assurance that I'm going to give you all the maps whatever they provided.
Not on the maps. How we are going to? Because suppose if
Yeah,
I'm not having any idea about the states in India, so
I'll give
I
you
want
overview.
to have the particular. If I click on India, I will get the drop down list, the filtered with the all the Indian states. So from that list, I can able to select it. That's the way.
Yeah, those type of things we can do, but not exactly on the maps. Okay, we can do all this stuff. We cover all this stuff
Okay.
except the map part.
Okay. At least we will have the because so if I go and the I think
No worries.
somewhere else if I have the
worries.
year-wise data is there.
No worries. Got it what
Yeah.
you're saying. No worries, we
Yeah.
cover all those.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
So I need to, not a problem. I need to
Yeah.
tell upfront. That is why I am telling you maps. No. The
Okay.
remaining we can.
Okay, because that is actually my requirement because there will be an the tabular information and the graphical information will be there. So if I suppose to have the 1 year data is there, if I would like to go to a particular year's quarter-wise information, if I click on, I think it will drill down the data. So when it drill downs, the map also need to be changed
Got it.
simultaneously. Yeah, like that. These are the interactive sessions.
Yeah, instead of the map, I can give you another way. But
Yeah,
map wise, I'm not giving you the assurance. But the map wise, because some problems are there with that, my infra is not there.
So if you have idea about the map, it would be great. But no problem. If I have the how we can make the multiple changes simultaneously, if we click on drill downs and all those things.
Yeah, and you are saying your requirement will be fulfilled with the active reports.
Yeah.
I'll give you overview on the active reports, and I'll give you good books on the active reports.
Yeah, sure. It's great.
I'll give you overview on the active reports. Overview.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions about our agenda, Ranjit, Savan?
Like, will we be taking that some information regarding the Cognos installation and configuration?
Installation and configuration that will be taken care from our admin team. They'll provide the software to you, and they'll install the software in your machines itself. You can practice at your free time. No need to worry about the installation. They'll configure that. They'll install the Cognos.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And one more thing, after completion of each batch, each day, I'll give you some hands-on. You need to practice those hands-ons yourself. You need to get the solution yourself. I'm not going to help you anymore in the exercises. Why I'm saying like that is, if you try to get the solutions for those hands-on, you try many ways, you do that, do this, like that, you'll get good handy with the tool. That is the reason I'm saying I'm not going to help you. Once I feel like you really worked hard, you didn't get the solution, then I am ready to give you the solution, not a problem. And the exercises what I am talking about, those are brought up from my experience. I am giving you the assurance that if you complete all those exercises in your projects, at least 70% of the requirements will be fulfilled in those exercises itself. At least 70%. The remaining 20%, you may get an idea like while doing the practice, I did like this, and why can't I do like this? Like that, you can get a minimum basic idea about your requirement, and the remaining 10%, Google, right?
Okay. Yeah.
R&D. That R&D, it will be for me also. Even I have 7 years experience. That is common thing. Okay, what else? Any more questions, Savan? Okay, then let us, if no questions, let us stop here, and our coordinator will get in touch with you. I want to start this batch as early as possible. Most probably even that is from tomorrow I am ready. Anyhow, our coordinator will let us know.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Thank you.
Chandra.